When you think of sheep, what comes to mind? Fluffy clouds with legs? Quiet grazers? Maybe just wool and baa? Well, it's time to delete everything you thought you knew about sheep, because these animals are low-key geniuses wrapped in wool. They're emotional, strategic, and packed with bizarre biological upgrades you've probably never heard of. Today, we're peeling back the fleece and revealing the incredible science behind one of nature's most misunderstood animals. Welcome to the hidden world of a sheep, an animal that's more complex, capable, and downright weird than most people realize. Let's start with the face. Because sheep don't just see you, they remember you. In fact, sheep can recognize up to 50 individual human and sheep faces. And they can remember those faces for over 2 years. That's better than most of us after a high school reunion. Researchers showed sheep photos of celebrities like Barack Obama and Emma Watson, and the sheep picked them out of a lineup with an accuracy that stunned neuroscientists. Not only that, they can read emotions too. Smile at a sheep, and it knows you're friendly. Frown, and yes, it notices. Some even prefer happy faces over neutral ones. That means they form emotional memories, not just visual ones. They might remember the kind farmer who feeds them, or the one who scared them during shearing. They know the difference, so when you pass that one sheep in the field and it watches you a little longer, it may just recognize you. They can also distinguish between facial expressions in sheep and humans alike. If you've had a positive experience with a particular sheep, don't be surprised if it greets you like an old friend, even months later. This ability helps them navigate social groups and strengthens bonds within flocks. People say sheep just follow the crowd, but that's not quite right. They're not blind followers. Sheep use collective decision-making when they move in herds. They follow trusted leaders and take into account past danger zones, water sources, and terrain. Studies show that when just 5% of a flock starts moving toward a goal, the rest will follow, but only if those 5% act with confidence. In other words, sheep respond to leadership cues, not just random motion. It's like they vote with their hooves. Some sheep even emerge as leaders over time. These individuals don't just walk in front. They assess the landscape and guide others away from danger. This dynamic intelligence ensures the survival of the flock. That's not mindless, that's tactical. In larger flocks, you'll find layered subgroups, matriarchs, social butterflies, and sheep who act as the early warning system when danger arises. These hierarchies are fluid, based not just on strength or age, but on learned behavior, trust, and social memory. It's democracy on hooves. Sheep are deeply emotional animals. They can suffer from anxiety, depression, and even grief. When isolated from their group, their stress hormone levels spike dramatically. Just like what happens in socially isolated humans, they form deep emotional bonds with others in their flock. If a lamb dies, its mother may bleat for days, and other sheep in the group may avoid the site where it happened. They've been seen nuzzling the bodies of dead companions, and in some cases, refusing to leave them. This is not anecdotal. This is emotional intelligence on display. Talking about vision, their visual system is like something out of a sci-fi film. Sheep have one of the widest visual fields in the entire animal kingdom, 320 to 340 degrees. That's nearly panoramic vision. They can see what's behind them without turning their heads. And you know what most absurd? Sheep can see ultraviolet light. This means they can perceive things we can't, like certain urine trails of predators, UV markings on plants, and subtle differences in terrain. Their world is richer in color and detail than we could ever experience. This supervision gives them a survival edge. Their eyes are also adapted to low light conditions, which is why they can graze effectively at dusk or dawn. When paired with their superior depth perception and motion sensitivity, sheep can avoid predators and navigate steep or rocky terrain, like four-legged mountaineers. It might sound fake, but some research suggests that sheep have a built-in compass. They tend to align their bodies in a north-south directions when grazing or resting, even when there's no sun or wind to guide them. This phenomenon suggests that sheep might sense the Earth's magnetic field. Migratory birds and sea turtles do it. So why not sheep? While this internal compass isn't fully understood yet, it could explain how sheep navigate huge landscapes, avoid repetitive grazing, and return to familiar spots across valleys and hills. By the way, this magnetosense could even influence how they build social positions within the flock, subtly aligning themselves based on magnetic cues during group rest or feeding. Weird, right? You might think sheep just munch on grass all day, but inside that fluffy body is a gut engineered for extreme digestion. Sheep have 4 chambered stomachs, designed to break down cellulose-rich plants that most animals can't even touch. They ferment their food in one chamber, regurgitate it as cud, chew it again, and then send it through the rest of the digestive system. This system extracts every drop of energy possible from dry, nutrient-poor plants. Some breeds can survive on desert shrubs, moss, or even lichen. Then some, like the bighorn sheep, thrive on cliffside vegetation while scaling near vertical rock faces. Their microbiome adapts based on their environment, making their digestion as flexible as it is efficient. This digestive adaptability has even been studied to improve sustainable agriculture. This one's important. Sheep aren't interchangeable. Each has a personality, a social style, and a memory that shapes its life. Some are bold and curious, trotting straight up to anything new. Others are shy, cautious, or downright moody. Farmers who spend time with their flocks can recognize each sheep without looking at tags. That one's the explorer, they'll say. That one hates the rain. Their personalities even influence how they solve problems. Bold sheep figure out gates and puzzles faster, while shy sheep rely on the group. When flocks are relocated, these personalities become crucial. The bold sheep explore, the calm ones ground the group, and the vigilant ones raise alarms. Together, they form a cooperative unit that adapts to new environments with surprising grace. Bonus quirk: they can learn names. Yes, you heard that right. Sheep can learn their own names and respond when called, especially when the voice is familiar. In experiments, sheep responded more to the names they'd been trained to recognize, and could even distinguish between voices of different people. That's not only cute, it also shows associative memory and auditory learning. So, next time you see a sheep grazing quietly in a field, don't think dumb animal. Sheep are not just livestock. Behind their every baa is a brain wired for survival, social nuance, and sensory brilliance. If this video surprised you, hit like, subscribe, and drop in comments. Do you think sheep can be next potential house pet after cat and dogs?